Hello everybody, can you hear me? Hopefully, maybe even see me. I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm sorry. Just for a change, I'm a little bit late. What does this say down here? Widget active, waiting for chat. I don't know what that means. There we go. We've got a comment, excellent. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarium Adventures live stream. I've changed up some things again, so am I even in focus? I might not even be in focus. We've got a new microphone. Look. We've got a new boom arm that I can move around at will. And it stays where I tell it to stay. Hopefully, why is that loud? Turn that down a bit. We've still got the stream deck. Why am I hearing myself? You can hear me twice because there's an echo. Bloody stupid thing. Let me turn that down. Is that any better? Shall I press some new buttons? I'll just sit here and wait for someone to tell me it's either amazing or it's terrible. Where have we gone with that one? The webcam's not even working. This is not good. Anyway, welcome. We were going to have some things to do and things to say. All good here, no echo, try refreshing. Good, I'm glad we've not got an echo. Don't really know what the audio is like because I literally only plugged this in earlier today and then got dragged away because number 2 son smashed his elbow up at the swimming, so we're only just back from A&E. Thankfully he's fine. So if you're there, Stuart, say hello and plug your new YouTube channel in the chat if you want, Graham. Yes, as Chris says, this week's new toy gadget. I might be doing this most of the evening, just swinging it around, smashing myself in the coupon with it. Hooray! But I'm really pleased with it because it looks the business and it's really nice and strong. I've also changed my camera lens so you're not right in my face anymore. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better. Hey, Bentley's in. This stream is way fancier than mine. This stream is all over the place so far. We're 5 minutes in, I'm already lost. I don't know what I'm doing. But what have we got tonight? So we've got some random chat with you lot. We've got some Felix news. Remember the Felix Aquarium Smart Controller? I'm going to talk about that for a little bit. I'm going to talk about PETA, P-E-T-A a little bit because it keeps coming up in my social medias. People have been talking about it. And of course, we'll maybe do a giveaway or two. As always, I've not got any of this. I tidied up my room earlier and I can't find any. Got some heat packs. No, I'm not giving them away. Got some Aquarium Adventures pens. All the greatest stuff here. We've got some pens, we've got some stickers, we've got some goodie bags. What else we could... Dropped everything already. And we've got all that kind of stuff. So, where shall we start? Let's do a bit of a roll call and see who's here. So we mentioned Bentley. Welcome, Bentley. Simon's here. Simon Harding. Callum's in, obviously. Jennifer's in. Tam, 1872. Good evening, sir. And we've got NJW from Doncaster. Hello there, from Sheffield. Scott's in. Rocky's here. Chris Cairns is here. Chris Silver's here. Diane Altland. Paul Horrocks. Matt Phillips, Courtney, we've got Andy Atkinson, we've got Rob Barry. Pardon me. Lots of people. Don's in, Mark Brennan. I'm seeing lots of names I recognise from previous prize winners. Simon's showing off that he's got an iPhone and he can cast to the TV. You can do that with an Android as well, you know. Yeah. I jest. We've got the stream deck here. We've got some new noises. So when you don't win a prize, I'm assuming that's making a noise. I've no idea. I'm going to have to use my headphones, aren't I? Let me know in the chat what you're up to tonight. Tonight's beverage of choice. Still no Hop House 13, so we're still back on the Jim Beam. The birthday Jim Beam. So this is going to go downhill quickly, no doubt. Just plugging in my headphones. Sorry for all the messing around. I want to know if I can hear myself. Excellent. I can sell some really terrible jokes and you'll all be able to hear it. That's what we wanted. So, any questions before we kick off? Let's get back down to the bottom. I'm just scrolling through chat here, so I'm just seeing everyone moaning about me being late. I'm sorry. I was messing around. I did a really stupid thing today. I tried to clean up my computer. It deleted everything, so all my saved settings and presets. So I've had to start from useful. Start from useful? That doesn't even make proper England. I had to start from scratch, setting everything up. Callum's in. Is everyone waiting for a new Fishman Aquatics video? We promise more coming, just waiting for Reese to get back from his hollybobs. Congratulations to Reese. Not that you'll be watching this if you're on your hollybobs with this. Your honeymoon even. Absolute Products is here. Oh, there's some more news. Did I share some of that news as well? I think I'm going to be testing some Absolute foods soon, or Absolute products. Someone reached out to me on, what it was, Facebook, Instagram. I can never tell. I'm going to be getting some to try, so we shall have some new videos on some new food testing, hopefully. Tonight's tipple of choice, Chris Silver, is Jim Beam. Urban, not seen you for a few weeks. Welcome, sir. Hope you're well. Oh, Kaylee's in. Must have heard the word giveaway. Got my goodie bag with pen last week before we went away. Thank you very much. No problem. Oh, Matt's about to have a tiki rum and lemonade. I don't know what that. Tiki rum. I've never heard of that. Oh, Tam's got a fishy question. Let's start with a fishy question. I've been given a fish that I found out is an Odessa barb. I've been to a few shops and not seen them. Do you know where I could get some? The answer is no, unless you're going to go online. So places like Tropco, they'll deliver fish. They'll have them, no doubt. They've got most things, most times. But it'd be worth asking at your local fish shop if they can get them in, because quite often they'll be able to get them in. I mean, Odessa barbs are not that unusual anymore. I've seen them around some Sheffield shops fairly regularly, so you should be able to get them. So I would pop into your favourite local fish shop and have a word with the people in there and ask them if they can order them in. Or if not, speak to Fishman Aquatics. You've got Callum and Courtney in the chat. I'm sure they'll see whether they can order them in and send them to you. Oh, Chris is on the fish orange. Oh, right, we've got some stuff to do, haven't we? So as well as... let me get down to the bottom of the chat. Bottom of the chat. Let's try the stream deck, see if it still works, or if I've deleted all of that. So, up here, every time, up here we've got some pictures of people who have either bought something from aquariumadventures.co.uk. If you want to have any of this lovely merch, for instance, go over there and get that sorted out. They've won some prizes. They've sent in some pictures of them with their stuff. So if you see yourself up there, let me know, say hello. Say whether you liked it or not. It's always good to get some feedback. Don't mind if you say you hated it, then I can change something. Yum, yum, yum. NJW asking about Twins Target Nano. NJW, let's find that. Jennifer, are you drunk already? Twins Target Nano. What's your thoughts on the Twin Star Nano? I'd have to Google it to figure out what it is, so my thoughts are probably going to be, I don't know, I've never had one. Is it a light? Sure, the Twin Star Nano. Oh god, the computer's so slow today. Why did I pick today to try and clean it? Twin Star Nano, Twin Star Nano. Or is it that sterilizer thing? Which twin star nano do you mean? Why do I think twin star make lights? Sorry, my computers could not be slower. Oh, I think it's that. What do you call them? The Sterilizer? No. I'm sure I said the word earlier. What the hell? We've had a super chat already. Sorry, I'll come back to that in a minute. Simon, I'll kick off the super chat you fund for whatever. So yes, all your super chats went to fund my new microphone and boom arm combo. Way! I'm definitely going to break something tonight, probably a tooth. So thank you very much for all the super chats, and you're too kind, Simon. Has everyone seen Graham's new cock merch? Should definitely go and check that out. The Twin Star Nano. What am I talking about? Right, let's find out what it is. I'm sorry, I feel like I've got my hands tied because I can't Google things properly. Is it like the anti-algae ozone generator or something like that? If it is that thing, which I've seen, like, in fact, let's see if we can get it to go. Come on, you can do this. Sterilizer, that was the word I was going for. Right, I'll share this page. Oh, I've not got desktop on my Stream Deck. I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. This thing, the Twin Star Nano Sterilizer. I've never used it. I must admit. I know people rave about them. I've never found the need. So if I was going to give you any advice, it would be go and speak to someone who has actually used it or knows a little bit more about it than I do. Because I think it just... I can't say anything bad because I've not done any research whatsoever. I've not done any research to suggest it's good, bad, or indifferent. It looks cool because it produces like a fine mist, like CO2-y type stuff. I get the idea behind it. It's meant to aid with algae or algae prevention rather than algae removal. But I've always thought it was a bit of a gimmick, but I've got no reason to think that really because I've never tried it, so I don't know. All the best to you. If you try it, let us know. That might be the way to look at that one. We've got Aquarium Analytic in. Sorry I haven't been around the past couple of weeks. It's been really busy. I know that feeling. I've been doing 9 days a week the last few weeks. So don't you worry about it. Lock Fund. Very funny, Callum. Lots going on. Just you wait until you've got your little kid turns up. Everything has a reason to make you late for everything. Just time vacuums. Anyway. As Jennifer says, 20 people here can't find the like button. Come on, guys. That's the only price of admission is click the like button. Tell someone, share someone, click the subscribe button. That's even better. Ciao with Lau. Not seen you for a few weeks either. Nice to have you back. I'm hoping it was my super duper thumbnail that's drawn everyone in that I spent all of 5 minutes earlier creating. Oh, Noodle Sandwich, £5 super chat. Have a beer on me. Thank you very much. I'll have a Jim Beam instead. Thank you very much. Right. Oh, Patrick Hardy, Aquarium Ventures. I got your stickers. Thank you from Houston, Texas. Wow, that took a while to get there. If we've only just got there. But I'm glad they made it. Vince Ransom's in. Absolute Products is still here. Yeah. Chris Cairns has a question about clown loaches and red-tailed shark. Oh, this was the same as the last time when I had no idea because I mixed up my red-tailed shark and my red fin shark, didn't I? Let's see. Chris Cairns. I'm planning on getting some clown loaches. Would adding a red-tailed shark be a bad idea? Probably not initially. it's, I mean, clown loaches are, I think they're fantastic fish. I've never kept them. I looked after one for a while, but I've never kept them long term. But they get enormous, and they look really cool when they're enormous, and they're full of, I'm going to say full of life. That's not the word I'm going for. They're full of attitude, and they're just like big dumb idiots, and they're really not interactive as such, but they'll quite often pretend to be dead and things like that. You'll find them sleeping there going, "Oh no, I've killed it." When I looked after it for a while, I think I had it for about 3 months, and I thought I killed it 15 times. But it just liked to pretend to be dead. But they get really big, and I don't think they inhabit the same area of the water because they're bottom dwellers mostly. Red-tailed sharks wouldn't really get in their way. But they're very different. In terms of requirements, they're very different fish. Red-tailed sharks don't get that big. They get quite aggressive with things that look like them. So I don't think a clown loach would figure that as a bad thing. So yeah, maybe you get on for a while, but after a while you might not think they work together. If that makes sense, almost. Oh, we've got another super chat. A belated birthday drink on us. Mark and I missed the last live stream. Thank you very much, Kaylee. Oh, we've got another one from Siamese Fighter. Well, can I keep 2 cardinals in a 10G? My friend keeps 2 cardinals in a 10G. Is this okay? They are very happy and healthy. I mean, yeah, you can. I wouldn't want to keep 2 cardinals. Cardinals like to live in a big group, or in my experience, they're happier when they're in a big group. I think I got 100 cardinals when I got my cardinals together, and I've never seen them happier than when I had 100. They're now starting to get to the end of their life because they don't live all that long. So I wouldn't keep 2, but 2 in a 10-gallon is probably fine, but I would try and get more. I'd get maybe 6 as a kind of minimum, 5 or 6, something like that, if you can get away with it. They might be happy and healthy at the moment, but they'll be happier and healthier if they have a few more friends. And 6 wouldn't necessarily be pushing it in a 10-gallon tank. As long as there's not like 100 other fish in there, you should be okay. Matt says the Twin Star's a different way of having a UV clarifier. Yeah, I've just never used it, so I can't tell whether or not it's good. There you go. As Courtney says, Siamese Fighter, cardinals thrive in groups. Definitely the way to go. So, what did I say? I said 5 or 6. Courtney says 5 or 6. Simon says 6 to 8. So we're all roughly in agreement. I remind you of a guy you used to work with in Glasgow. I'm his double, but he had ginger hair. Well, in the right light, and when it wasn't grey, did have a bit of a tinge. But I try and get all my lighting so the ginger tinge didn't show up. And I did used to work in Glasgow, so maybe it was me. Used to work in St Vincent Street. Simon, I echo those comments and those sentiments exactly. You guys are awesome, and thank you very much for the super chats. And he's got his stickers and put them on his big dug racking. We'll get a picture sent in. I just added that one for poops and giggles. Get your picture sent in with your stickers and we'll stick you up in the Rogues Gallery. Jennifer's just super chatted as well. Bloody hell. I'm going too fast. Can't find Jennifer's though. I can't put your comment up, Jennifer, sorry. But Streamlabs has told me you've super chatted 5 times, so thank you very much. Super chats are flying in tonight. They are indeed. Noodles on the gin and tonic tonight. Blue Sapphire gin also on offer. So saved £11 off the normal price. Excellent. It's because she has a betta which gets nipped when there's a group of tetras, but we're both learning. Yeah, you probably don't want to keep a betta in with the same one. Oh, absolutely. I should have received my Fishy aid package today. I did not, I'm afraid. Hopefully it'll turn up tomorrow. And hopefully it wasn't alive. So I'm getting some absolute foods or products. I'm not sure what I'm getting. I'm just getting a little goodie bag to test out some stuff. So we'll get a video on that soon. Right, anyway, let's get to the comment of the day. I didn't mean to press that button, sorry. I was trying to get, oh, it's Little Face, there we go. I keep seeing people talking about Good Morning Britain. It's not a programme I watch very often. So I had to do a little bit of research and find out, well, I want you to stop scrolling. Sorry. I did a little bit of research to see what the hell people were going on about. So it seems that sometime in the last couple of weeks, the Aspinal Foundation, which is founded by a guy, I think it's Damien Aspinall, who's the son of someone who basically had a zoo and made a load of money off his curiosities. And his son's gone completely the other way, and it's a charity about basically getting rid of zoos. So his latest big thing was about elephants, and he's sent some elephants, or he wants to send some elephants back to Africa. I mean, it's the kind of thing when you read a little bit about it, you go on the face of it, oh yeah, animal conservation, that sounds great. That sounds like the kind of thing I'd be right into. But it's full of him saying, no, people shouldn't have animals. Animals belong in the wild. Every article though has got him like stroking a cheetah. You're like, oh yeah, so no other bugger except you can have animals to play with. But yeah, I get it. It's his version of conservation. I think the worrying thing, or the thing that's getting some people a little bit worried, is they've hired Boris Johnson's missus in some capacity. And she made some statements about not liking the way fish were transported. So, right, okay. Has no background in animal welfare or animals at all, has no qualifications, didn't consult any of the groups or authorities or trade bodies or anything like that to see, is this a good thing, is that a bad thing, is there a problem here? Just released a paper saying, no, this is bad, we shouldn't be doing it like this. So your man Aspinall has come out and said we shouldn't have aquariums. You know, a bit like, oh, right. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with some of the comments at the same time. So he's come out and said you shouldn't have aquariums and wants all fish to be released into the wild, back to the wild. So Peter has picked up on this, and on Good Morning Britain, which if you're not from the UK is like a morning breakfast show on ITV, had a rep from Peter and a guy from, I'm going to murder this now, I think it was from Bristol, from one of the big public aquariums. Can't remember his name. I'm terribly sorry. If you ever see this, I apologise. But did the usual, let's get two people with opposing opinions and make them fight it out on air. Yeah, go for it. They didn't really do that. But the lady from Peter just came across like a complete tool. Made some nonsensical arguments about, yeah, well, what was some of the things? It was like, well, it's fish are being ripped from their families. Really? Fish are being ripped from their families and held in these glass prisons. And how would you like it if you were ripped from your family and put in a glass prison? And you're a bit like, well, it's not the same thing. Please stop anthropomorphizing this. Quite often, it's like, oh, their children being ripped from their fishy parents. Well, no, a lot of fish will eat their young if they get the chance. So it's not like they're the best parents in the world and they're sat there sobbing when their kids get taken away to get put in an aquarium. But it was just stat after stat after stat of nonsense, complete nonsense. 99% of all aquarium fish are taken from the wild. No, they're not. 79% of all aquarium fish, that's bollocks. None of that's true. And then the guy from the Bristol Aquarium, that might not be the Bristol Aquarium, I might have made that up. He made some very good reasoned points, and that might be slightly biased, what with me being an aquarium channel myself. But simply stating things like, it would be a ridiculous idea to send all the fish in the aquariums back into the wild, because they will have diseases that fish in the wild might not be tolerant to, so you could wipe out complete ecosystems, complete food chains could be gone by doing that. Made good arguments about conservation, and things like the big public aquariums do a lot for the conservation. And she was like, well, maybe if they didn't have to spend all that money looking after those fish, they would be able to give even more money to conservation action for the oceans. And you're like, so you want them to shut down the public aquarium so they can give more money for conservation programs. Yet, the only reason they have any money is because they're a public aquarium and they have loads of cool things to go and look at and gift shops and all that kind of jazz. It beggared belief. So all this stuff about the fish prisons, and she had no answer for any of these very reasonable points that this chap made. So I thought I'm going to go and have a look and see what Peter's stance is on this. So I thought we could share this. I found Peter has an issues page, so I found it, and I think there's something wrong with Peter and the big animal rights things. They do have the right idea, maybe, or they, on the face of it, have good intentions, but poorly executed, I think is where I find. So I think Peter probably terrible. Not overly keen on the things that they do. I know there's been loads of controversy about PETA, about they kill more animals than they save, so they have lots of shelters and things where they have a kill policy. I think one of the ones, don't quote me on this, but one of the shelters they opened killed every animal it took in. They bring in millions every year, but it's like massive weighting on their budgetary stuff is on fundraising, advertising, all that kind of stuff. They then spend more money on fundraising and advertising and all that kind of stuff. It's a very dodgily weighted split of how they spend their money. They don't spend it all on shelters and all on causes. They spend a lot of it on themselves and publications and publicity and all that kind of thing. So it's just, it's got a bit of a sour taste in its mouth. So I thought we could read it together and have a look at Peter's. I had a quick scan of the first couple of paragraphs and went, oh, what's this utter? So I thought this might make a good read for all of us together. Let me just quickly scan and see if anyone's telling me, don't shut up, Graham. They're holding us hostage. You're not allowed to. Oh, Freshwater Ichthyology did a video on this. Well, I would urge you all to go and have a look at that video because she's a lot more knowledgeable than I am, so it probably will make more sense than anything I might say. I'm likely going to talk nonsense and upset everyone. Lily Loft. I did wonder why the big aquarium I visited the other day had tons of plastic plunds. See, this is a comment after my own heart. Yeah, it's something, it's like a crackpot idea. Yeah, we're going to do a thing. What's that thing called? Rewilding. What's rewilding? We take all the pets in captivity and we release them all into the ocean. Oh, why would that be a good idea? Because it's rewilding. That sounds ace though. Surely they'll just all die. But at least they're not being kept as pets. Don't know why I'm doing this anymore. This isn't making sense. It's just absolute nonsense. The fact that rewilding being the ultimate goal for anything, that you should never domesticate anything, you never keep anything as pets. Why are we stopping with fish or cats or dogs or exotic animals or whatever it is? I mean, all those things. Why are we rewilding humans? I don't want to go and live in a tree. It's better. So I mean, there are arguments that fish might get a better life in some home aquariums than they would in the wild. They're not constantly under threat from disease, drought, famine, predation, all these other things. They're not people. They might have they are sentient, but they're just a whole different class. I just don't get the whole anthropomorphizing things. Well, I wouldn't like it if I lived in a glass box. No one's asking you to live in a glass box. Shut up. But anyway, where did we get to? So, Little Face. So this was the site I found under, so this is PETA.org issues, animal companion issues, fish tanks. Fish in tanks? No thanks. Fragile tropical fish who were born and dwell in the majestic seas and forage among brilliantly coloured coral reefs. Already I'm going, ugh. Suffer miserably when they are forced to spend their lives in glass tanks. Says who? How have they measured this? Have they done a survey? Have they gone and found Nemo and say, Nemo, did you prefer it when you were getting chased by those big sharp-toothed eels? The same is true of riverfish. No, it's not. Robbed of their natural habitats and denied the ability to travel freely, they must swim around endlessly in the same few cubic inches of water. Now, there you're assuming, I think the same person that wrote me my comment that my tank was way too small for discus is the same person writing this. They're assuming everyone is doing bad husbandry, and let's not beat around the bush. There are lots of terrible fish keepers out there. There are lots of really, really good fish keepers out there, and there's lots in between that are trying to be better and trying to do the right thing. It is not the de facto position that if you keep fish in a tank, that is automatically terrible and far too small. Where fish really come from, the popularity of keeping tropical fish has created a virtually unregulated industry. Really? That catches and breeds as many fish as possible with little regard to the animals themselves. So are we catching them or are we breeding them? I thought we were robbing them from the wild. Or are we breeding them now? Are they captive bred? While many species of coral are protected under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, most fish who end up in aquariums are not. Because most saltwater fish cannot be bred in captivity. Also not true. Up to 98% of those sold in pet stores come from the wild, mostly from the waters around Southeast Asia, Fiji and Hawaii. A lot of fish do come from there. More than 30 million fish, along with millions of other types of marine life, such as anemones, shrimp and mollusks, are captured every year to support $200 million worldwide hobby. Why is hobby in inverted commas? Is it a hobby or isn't it a hobby? Is that a euphemism? Or are we just a terrible writer? Some species, such as the Banggai cardinalfish, have become threatened because of fishing. Bollocks! They've just been written off as they're not threatened. They're not endangered. They're not even nearly threatened or endangered and haven't been for a long time. So it's just really bad research so far, as well as being sickly and terrible writing. Not that I'm biased, obviously. According to a 2008 report from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, up to 90% of saltwater fish brought to the US for display are caught illegally using poison. Bad thing. I'm not going to say that everything here is wrong. If these things are happening, there are some dodgy techniques being used. We should stop those dodgy techniques. We should find better ways. We shouldn't just draw a line through everything and say we can't do these things. Collectors douse coral reefs with cyanide, which is ingested by the fish who live there, and as reported in Scientific American, the resulting asphyxiation stuns some fish and sends others into spasms, making them easy to grab by hand or net. Studies have shown that as many as 75% of fish... Studies have shown. It's always studies have shown. It's not here's the study that has shown this. Just a study somewhere. Someone did a study once. Studies have shown that as many as 75% of fish poisoned with cyanide die within hours of collection, and another 30% die before they're ever shipped. Questionable maths there, but okay. The cyanide also kills coral and millions of other fish, invertebrates and microscopic animals. Marine biologists rank the poison as one of the biggest dangers in Southeast Asian waters. So we're listening to marine biologists now. Same marine biologists that work at public aquariums and things like that, maybe. Approximately 90% of freshwater fish are raised on farms. I thought we were stealing from the wild. Goldfish, for instance, are usually bred in giant tubs and facilities that produce as many 200 million fish per year. Goldfish, that well-known goldfish, all-encompassing goldfish. Are we talking about feeders? Are we talking about fancy goldfish? Are we talking about all of them? There are things wrong in our hobby that we should try and make better. But this kind of blanket whitewashing of everything, or blackwashing, or whatever colour we're calling it, this isn't the way to go. These animals are sold to zoos, pet stores and bait shops, and many are doomed to live in plastic bags or bowls. That would be bad. I would stop people keeping fish in plastic bags or bowls, neither of which provides the space or oxygen that a goldfish need. Well, possibly true. The city of Monza, Italy, banned keeping goldfish in bowls because the containers do not meet the needs of the animal, and because, as one sponsor of the law pointed out, bowls give fish a distorted view of reality, and they suffer because of this. Fish can speak, make tools, and think. Here's a new one. I did not know that, to be fair. I was unaware that fish could speak. What can you say? Let's just check in with some of these comments. PETA stands for people eating tasty animals. Go live in a glass box, Graham, says Callum. Excellent. We need a rant alert. Not quite a rant alert. It's a horn. Ripping them from the fins of their adoring parents, yes. So, as we go on, fish have cognitive abilities that equal, sometimes surpass those of non-human primates. They can recognize individuals, use tools, and maintain complex social relationships. That is true. They can recognize individuals. They can use tools. Have you seen those fish that will grab a rock to crack another mussel or something like that? They will maintain complex social relationships. We've seen fish schooling and shoaling. Sorry if I just spat all over the place there. Yeah, that doesn't mean that their cognitive abilities are higher than a worm. Still quite the leap to being ripped away from their parents and feeling that kind of bond being broken. Biologists wrote in Fish and Fisheries that fish are steeped in social intelligence, pursuing Machiavellian strategies of manipulation, punishment, and reconciliation, exhibiting stable cultural traditions and cooperating to inspect predators and catch food. No argument from me. Fish communicate with one another a range of low-frequency sounds. Okay. From buzzies and clicks to yelps and sobs. Yelps and sobs? Really? These sounds, which are audible to humans only with the use of special instruments, yes, like a bolloxometer, communicate emotional states such as alarm or delight, or help with courtship. The pumps and filters necessary in many home aquariums can interfere with this communication. At the least, we're disrupting their communication. At worst, we're driving them bonkers, says ichthyologist Philip Lobel. I must say, I've spent a lot of time looking at my fish. I haven't seen any of them looking like they're bonkers. And I've spent a lot of time looking at my fish when they're in tanks that don't have filters and pumps and all those other things. I mean, if they've got tools, why are they not writing signs or telling me if they can talk? I don't like that noise. That pump's really loud. We turn that off. What can you do? Please don't support the tropical fish trade by purchasing fish. That's an important point there. If you enjoy watching fish, consider downloading one of the many colourful and realistic fish-themed computer screensavers available on the web. Don't support businesses or fairs that give away fish in contests or promotions. And get on board with that. I would agree with that one. But I can get rid of so many, free up so much space. All I have to do is download the screensaver. I'm so happy now. Siamese fighting fish, who are often sold as decorations or party favours, are fighting for their lives as the popularity grows. Really? Is it fighting for its life because of its popularity? Or is it unaware that its popularity has grown? Pet shops, discount superstores, florists, and even online catalogues sell Siamese fighting fish, betta splendens. Yeah, well, why don't we call them betta splendens rather than Siamese fighting fish if we're... in tiny cups or flower vases to consumers who are often uneducated about proper betta care. These tiny containers are not suitable for any fish. Quite right, totally agree. They're not suitable for any fish. And we should be educating people when we sell them fish. And I think a lot of the complaints of people like me is that people try and educate badly. So maybe we should work on the way that we educate people who are wanting to buy fish rather than just ban it. I don't know. Biologists say there is no safe way to return captive fish to their natural environments. Biologists again. Either we're listening to them or are we not listening to them? We're going to release them all into the wild a minute ago. No safe way to return captive fish to their natural environments, which are often located in completely different regions of the world because of the difficulty in locating such a habitat and the possibility of introducing disease to the other fish there. Yeah, there's that again. So, the man who was presented as the face opposing rewilding fish and the organisation that was proposing the rewilding fish agree that you can't rewild fish because of the dangers of disease and the other myriad of problems. Couldn't make it up. Researchers have found many species of non-native fish, including predatory species living off the coast of Florida, and they attribute these populations to careless aquarium owners. These fish pose a real threat to native species. Yes, all of us here would say, yeah, don't release fish into the wild. It's a stupid idea. But why are you telling them to do it? Researchers found many species... yep, done that bit. These fish pose a real threat to native species. Never flush a fish down the toilet in hope of freeing them, as seen in popular movies like Finding Nemo. Even if a fish survived the shock of being put into the swirling fresh water, he or she would die a painful death in the plumbing system or at the water treatment plant. Well, obviously. If you already have fish, you can make their lives easier by providing them with an environment that is much like their natural habitat as possible. That's what we're doing! While captive fish can never live their natural lives, the following tips will help to ensure that they are happy as possible. This is going to be good. I can tell this is going to be good. I'm going to take a break to have a sip here. I think I might get irate shortly. Let's have a quick check of the comments. Quite. I have a wee top up. Get more ranty on my second drink. The more space fish have, the happier and healthier they will be. Their needs vary, so check with an expert or consult a good fish book to determine their requirements. No argument from me. That's why things like this exist. We've got lots of people on this stream tonight who are very knowledgeable. Got any questions? Consult us. I've read the next sentence and I'm already upset with it. One general guideline. Oh, guideline, that sounds like a rule. One general guideline is that you should provide 3 gallons of water for every 1 inch of fish. There it is! Somebody's written it down. Peter have now committed it to paper. 3 gallons of water for every 1 inch of fish. So they've taken the 1 inch to 1 gallon rule and they've made it better by saying it's 3 gallons. But regular viewers will know that this infuriates me. It's the most ridiculous rule, guideline, or anything I've ever heard. It just does not make sense. Your 10-inch Oscar can live in a 30-gallon tank quite happily, can it? Treat tap water properly before putting it into the aquarium, as most municipal water contains chlorine, which can kill fish. Good advice. Is there anyone that's not doing this? Are there people out there who aren't treating their water? The type of chemicals you should use depends on your area's water. Consult a local tropical fish supply store. Are we not to stop using them? Pretty sure earlier on we were told to not use any fish stores for anything. Consult a local tropical fish supply store to determine the proper treatment. Tell you what, don't. You were already told earlier on not to use them. Ask us. Or go onto one of the billion websites or books that will tell you what to use. Seachem Safe, Seachem Prime, Tap Safe. The list goes on. There are hundreds of them. Different types of fish require different pH levels. Check the pH level daily for the first month and weekly thereafter. Why? Why? What's that? What? Why? What happens on day 4? Why are we checking it for the month? But what are we going to do? Check the pH. Well, it's 4 today. Next day. It's 9 today. It was 5 today. And what kind of action are we meant to be taking with this? That's just a waste of a bullet point. A filter to remove waste particles and knocks... A filter? What? The filter that disturbs their rhythms? The filter that's driving them insane? Surely they're not going to be recommending a filter with a pump in it, a horrible pump. A filter to remove waste particles and noxious chemicals from the water is essential? How can it be essential? What did they say up here? I'm pretty sure they said that we were driving them mental. And now I can't find it. We're driving them bonkers. That's what we're doing with our pumps and noises. But apparently it's essential. Okay. Live plants help with this task and provide oxygen, shelter, hiding places, and the occasional snack. They do. I mean, I would agree that they are essential, but it seems very all over the place so far, this article. A properly working air pump is necessary to provide oxygen. Bollocks. It's not necessary at all. There are many other ways to get oxygen in your tank. For anyone who's new, air pumps do not pump oxygen into your tank. They create movement and surface agitation. Surface agitation that allows for the exchange of gases between the water and the air. You're not pumping oxygen into the tank. That's not how it works. So a wave maker or a filter return pointed at the surface, getting good surface agitation will do the same thing as an air pump. We don't need an air pump. I mean, they look nice. If you like that kind of thing, go for it. I'm not saying don't have an air pump. Not necessary. Fish need a constant temperature, and you should check with a fish. We went back at the fish supply store again, and we were told earlier not to go there. Now that's two things we need to go and check with them. They need a constant temperature. No, they don't. And you should check with a fish supply store for information that is specific to the type of fish that you're keeping. Yeah, always good to check and seek advice. Automatic aquarium heaters monitor the water temperature and turn the heater on and off as needed. Attaching a small thermometer to the tank will help you ensure that the heater is functioning properly. Good advice, yes. If you want to use a heater, I would go one step further and use a heating controller, maybe. But yeah, fine. But they don't need a constant temperature. They can quite happily. In the wild, you remember where it's best. Temperatures fluctuate throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the year. The natural waste of fish emits ammonia. Natural waste of fish, okay, that's a clumsy sentence, but nothing else. Emits ammonia, which can accumulate to toxic levels, so clean the tank regularly, but never empty the tank completely. Be sure to clean the glass well with a pad or brush to prevent algae growth. But algae would help deal with your ammonia problem. Okay, and it said clean the tank regularly. If you clean it too much, and you haven't said don't clean it with tank water, and you haven't said don't rinse everything out under your tap. Remember your bad chlorine tap? You might be fighting a losing battle there with this dodgy, half-arsed, ill-thought-out advice. Not biased, though. Create places for the fish to hide and explore. Ceramic objects, natural rocks, and plants work well. Make sure all objects are thoroughly cleaned and disinfected before they're put into the tank. Do not use metal objects as they will rust. Okay. Be aware of the environment outside the aquarium. Suddenly switching on a bright light in a dark room can startle fish. Very true, that can. And vibrations from a television or a stereo can alarm and stress them. Yes. And also don't have kids that run up and go, "Marr!" Keep all harmful chemicals away from the aquarium. Cigarette smoke, paint fumes, and aerosol sprays can be toxic if they are absorbed into the water. You're unlikely to do much damp smoking a few fags. But yes, painting, aerosols, all bad things. The aquarium should be in a spot where temperature and light are constant and controllable. That's to make your life easier, not for the fish's life, because like we discussed earlier, temperatures rises and falls. Tropical fish supply stores, again with the tropical fish stores. I thought it's like 4 or 5 times we've been told to use them, and only once not to use them, so I don't know. Tropical fish supply stores may be able to advise you on the best amount of light for the fish you are keeping. Remember that direct sunlight and drafts from nearby doors and windows can change the water temperature, and fumes from a nearby kitchen or workshop can injure the fish. Don't overfeed. Well, that's true. That's true of humans as well. We ban humans. Don't get a belly like this for not overfeeding. Uneaten food and waste material are broken down into ammonia and nitrites, which are toxic. Right, well, you've mentioned two things of the aquarium cycle there. What about the third one? Remember that filter you told us to get? That's doing a job there. It's turning those ammonia and nitrites into nitrates. One expert recommends providing only as much food as a fish can eat in 30 seconds. 22. So that must be somebody's cited that. I'm going to guess that's something that's been horribly taken out of context because that's nonsense. I mean, a good guidance or a good rule of thumb, not a rule, is it's usually 5 minutes or so. But my discus tank, for instance, I'll quite happily let them graze for an hour. My fish are grazers, and that works well for us. 30 seconds is a bit like, shh. Nope. You're never going to feed the bloody things. The fish will be like, oh, delicious. Let me just go and wash my fins, because I am a human after all. Just get ready for dinner. Oh, come on, guys, dinner's here. Guy, oh, he's gone. Taking it out. Ah, what the hell? Who's telling them 30 seconds? I've not even got time. I have to find that. 22. Nathan Hill. Oh, I know that name. Don't make these fish keeping mistakes. So I would need to look at the article, but I'm going to assume that's something for complete beginners, not to chuck in 10 tons of food at once. 30 seconds. I mean, that just seems a bit... If a fish seems sick or lethargic, take him or her to a vet. Him or her? What about all the other genders? Fish can be medicated, anaesthetized, given shots, and operated on just like other animals. Take along a separate sample of the tank water. That is true. I have gone to the vets with my fish. And I even asked, you need me to bring the fish in? He said, what? Are you an idiot? Of course not. There are fish vets out there, and if you can find one, that's really useful. Get some of the good drugs if you get a fish vet. But normal vets, normal high street vets, cat and dog vets, they're a bit like fish. I don't know. They've got no idea. So don't just rock up to your local Abbey vets with fish in a bag going, oh, this looks a bit ill. It's going to be really ill if you've been carrying around that poly bag. Most fish enjoy companionship. If you have a single fish, check with friends and neighbours to find another loner to adopt. But don't support the fish trade by going to a dealer. What? Most fish enjoy companionship. Some fish enjoy companionship. If you have a single fish, check with friends and neighbours to find another loner to adopt. Don't do that. No. Don't support the fish trade by going to a dealer. Do support the fish trade by going to your local fish shop. Don't go taking in... It's like, hello, Dave. It's me from next door. You know that fish you've got? Yeah, I really like that fish. No, you have to give it to me. I'm adopting. It completely depends on the type of fish we're talking about here. What a lot of... Supply stores and catalogues have clear plastic dividers available that can be used to create a safe section in a large tank for a betta fish who is living in a community aquarium. Why have we community? Make sure the divider fixed securely in the tank provides necessary access to the surface. Oh, alright. Seems like a strange thing to put. What about make sure the divider isn't see-through? What about don't put lots of betta fish in the same aquarium? That's it. Pardon me. What a lot of bollocks. I do have to apologise for my language, but what a lot of nonsense. So, that's it. That was the little thread that I went on this afternoon. All from let's rewild all the fish to finding Peter's evidence, argument, article. Really poorly written, ill thought out, ill researched. Bunch of bollocks. I can't think of any other way to put it. Right, so I apologise for all that ranting. Let's see if we've got any comments, and then we'll do a quick giveaway since we've gone an hour and we haven't given anything away yet. Graham Pendlebury, hello from Rutherglen. I bought a pair of German Blue Rams. Can I add more, or do they have to be kept in pairs? 300-litre tank. They don't have to be kept in pairs, but they will fight if they don't have enough space to get about. It's quite common to keep groups of them and let them pair off and then start separating them. But yeah, when they start to breed, as inevitably they will, and pair off, they will have a bit of a shout with each other. I mean, I don't think I lost it. I think I read a lot of it, but you know. In the summer, I turn my heater off. Your heater should do that anyway. The amount of times I have conversations with people that are like, "Oh, it's really hot. I'm going to turn my heater off." Your heater's got a thermostat in it. It doesn't. It's already off. You don't need to turn it off. You're just risking forgetting to turn it back on again when it gets cold. Yes, this was my feeling as well. The whole report reverses to the point that aquariums are perfectly acceptable. Exactly. Demolishing a sticky tab and yeah, exactly. Was it 30 minutes? Maybe I've been too harsh. I thought it said 30 seconds. Let me find it. No, 30 seconds. Mind you, that's going to be good for the fish food business. So, everyone, if you're interested, I sell these wonderful sticky tabs. They're great. You can stick them onto the side of your glass, or the front of the tank, the glass. The fish can come up and they can nibble away at these. You can take some pictures. It's really good for getting the fish in a nice frame. But after 30 seconds, whip it out, throw it in the bin, get a new one. You'll be buying loads. Yeah, we can't forget the non-binary fish. I just think we should all definitely do this. I'll go around to your neighbours, say, "Hello, have you got any fish? I need to pair up mine." I thought this as well. So Scottish Ogre saying here, well, looking at the new terminology, instead of going to my local fish store, I'm going to my local fish dealer. Just mean you should be doing that like this, shouldn't you? Hey, all right, mate, got any fish? You got a dime bag for fish? Prematurely ending timorous animals. We curin timorous beastie. I wonder if Nathan knows that he's being quoted in a PETA article saying that we should get rid of fish. Because I've read some of his stuff before and that wasn't what I was getting from it. But yes. So anyway. Right, let's get down to the bottom. We'll do a wee giveaway, shall we? Let's do a wee plug first. For all your fishing needs, aquariumadventures.co.uk, obviously. There's a good point. So if we sell any fish to the dealers in the local fish shop, what are we? Are we like one stage up on dealers? Like a cartel, as Sharpie's saying? No, you'd be like I'm trying to think from watching all the gangster movies and Sopranos and all that kind of thing. Name for that, like the mid-level capo bosses or whatever. Anyway, shall we get the wheel out? I can never remember which way round I want to do this. Shall we pick the winner first and then see what they win? Or shall we pick the prize first and then see who the winner is? I think we'll try it with pick the winner first. So, Wiltface. Here we are. We're in the giveaways. Mods are on. Regulars, channel members, users. Keyword. It's got to be either going to be non-binary fish or PETA. Petakno. Oh no, that's be cock. Peter Cox. Peter Cox. Peter Cox. Petakoks. If you want to win a prize, type that in the chat now while I explain the rules. So, the rules are, as they always are, many and varied. First, you need to type Petacox into the chat. Second, you need to be a human living on the world. And if you're not in the UK, you have to be willing to pay the postage. But if you are in the UK, I will cover the postage. That's fine. It's cost me an absolute fortune, by the way. We're going to have to rethink this whole giveaway thing. Be a human, live in the world, type Petacox into the chat, and click like, click subscribe. That's like the bare minimum. Click like and subscribe. If you do win, I'd like to see some pictures on you and your stuff that you win, even if it's a crappy pen. So you might win a pen, you might win some stickers, you might win a hoodie. We just don't know yet. Pardon me. Excuse me. But hit the like button anyway. Hit the subscribe button anyway. Even if you've just listened to me rant for half an hour about nonsense. Hit the subscribe button anyway. I like that kind of thing. It'd be really useful if you could share a video, but I don't mind. If you wanted to join, you get some extras. So there's a join button down there somewhere. You get, if you join as a hero member, you get 10% off anything at the aquariumadventures.co.uk store. So that's food, merch, whatever it might be, you get 10% off. If you just join anyway as a normal member, you get access to a load of extra, why do I struggle with this word every week? Little pictures with smiley faces. Emojis, that's the one. You get a whole load of emojis that you can use. You can stick them in the chat. I'm sure someone was about to stick them in the chat, and you'll see them soon. But all those good things, and you get to win something. So, we have 31 eligible users. I'll give you another couple of seconds. I'll sit back and enjoy my Jim Beam. Hint, hint, if anyone wants to send me anything. Oh, whoa. Sorry, I just broke my mouse. We've got an idea. I saw my name come up in purple. Giveaway idea. Maybe limit once a month or reduce the items to just stickers or something once a week. Possibly offer discounts on the website as a prize. Yeah, we could do that. Maybe once a month we'll do like big prizes, and then, well, like the Kaylee wheel. For those of you who are new, you'll see this coming in a minute. We'll pick a winner and then we'll get them to pick a prize. But yeah, we might have to think about that. I haven't plugged Discord yet either. So, join Discord. Straight to the point. Right, are we ready to pick a winner? I think we are. Go back to Big Face. So, we've got 31 eligible users. Go back to Big Face. And what's going to happen is, I can't tell my right from my left, but here-ish, a big wheel will appear, and it'll spin, and it'll land on something, and that thing that it lands on is what the person will win. Oh no, we need to go back to that one first to pick the winner. So, who's going to win? Are we ready? Oh, it's Jennifer again. She's won. Jennifer won a prize last week. So you're going to win another prize now, Jennifer. Congratulations. Let's go back to Big Face. We'll roll the wheel. Are we ready? Yay, it worked. Whoop whoop, you've won a sticker pack. At least I got to use my new noise. You're all dead impressed, aren't you? Got to use my other new noise. Congratulations, Jennifer. I will send you some stickers unless you don't want me to send you some stickers because you've already got dozens of them. But yes, let me know. Yeah, you can defer your win if you want, Jennifer. You can pick someone else. Am I on big face or not? What did I see? Something there. House news. Noodle wants house news. Well, no problem. I have no house news. We have not moved on at all. The person I'm buying the house from is still being a... hopefully there will be some house news next week. I was hoping I was going to get a date this week, but we haven't done that, so we'll see. Maybe next week. Oh, because Callum said something clever. Oh, offer e-prizes people can claim and pay postage for. That's a good idea. I like that. I'll need to think about that. How can we do that? We've got a bit of a plug here from John from Sharpie's Model and Aquatics. If there are anybody nearish to Ipswich, I would suggest a visit to Scope Aquatics. Nice little shop, and Ollie is really nice young guy, knows his stuff and cares about the fish. There you go. Happy to give anyone a wee plug. We've got mountain goldfish, evening all. Sorry, you've missed the rant, or congratulations, you missed the rant. Oh, Phil says there might be new stickers coming. Oh. Jennifer's going to put them in restaurant toilets and make rude messages. So, if you do win a prize, I insist you email me. That's the other thing I should have mentioned earlier. So, there will be more prizes. Don't all bail on me quite yet. See, is anyone gone? We've got 35 concurrent viewers at the moment and 41 likes. That's good. And that's the kind of ratio that we can get on board with. Right, sorry, let me just catch up on the chat. So again, if you've got any questions, feel free to fire away with the questions. If it's not too much trouble, stick at Aquarium Adventures at the start of your question, because then it flashes up orange on my screen and it's a little bit easier to read. If not, one of the mods, because they are all super mods, will find your question and remind me. And I'll scroll through the chat and we'll have that awkward silence for 2 minutes while I look for your comment, and then another awkward silence while I go, I don't know. Which I'm doing a lot of. So I apologise. What was the rant? Well, I won't go through it all again. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. That's it. But it was about PETA and Aspinal things. I guess the only bit I didn't talk about there was, why was this on Good Morning Britain in the first place? Why were you... What is going on in the world where the only thing we've got to talk about is whether or not we should ban fish keeping, ban aquariums? It's like, it's a slow news day. Oh, what can we talk about? I don't know. Getting the country back on its knees. The fact that there's no food in any of the supermarkets. And the fact that no got a job these days. The fact that no wears masks anymore. Like, what is the point? Why have... Is there nothing more important to talk about than whether or not we should be allowed aquariums? Ooh. So that was the main thing that got me. I don't watch GMTV, whatever it's called. I can't think why it's a thing. Why do we care? The amount of so there was a thing on the One Show a couple of weeks back where it was about the benefits of keeping aquariums. About George Farmer was on talking about aquascaping and how it's helped his mental health and all the messages he gets from people about their mental health, and sitting in front of the fish tank or aquascaping in particular. All these things have helped them immensely and get through the lockdown and the amount of new people that have come into the hobby, and then these numbnuts come along and say, yeah, all those fish, no, not allowed them. Get a screensaver, download a screensaver of some fish. So that was the bit that I just couldn't understand why this is a thing. Anyway. What? Sorry, I'm going. Why are people talking about Christopher Walken? Is he in the chat? What's going on? There you go. So Scott says, was it because the one show did a piece on aquariums? I wonder. Yeah, so maybe they saw that and went, oh yeah, fish. Let's go the opposite way of the BBC. Sure, I saw something about Christopher Walken. Oh. Why are we talking about Christopher Walken? Well, if you're here, hello. I'm a big fan. Mark F. Seachem, or Seachem, as I like to call it, denitrate suggests a slow flow rate of less than 200 litres per hour to generate anaerobic bacteria to kill nitrate. Do you know if Biohome also needs a slow flow rate? It doesn't need a slow flow rate, but the slower the flow rate, the better your results will be. I would recommend a deep bed of Biohome if you want to use Biohome for the same sort of thing. But if you use Biohome in the same way that Seachem denitrate suggests, I suspect you would have very similar results. Or very good results, rather. What is your estimated tank size for, say, 6 discus and bits? So I might have to make this video again. One that I often get asked. So, discus, my favourite fish. That's what I like to keep. The minimum tank size I go for, and again, you'll remember all my rants about how I don't like rules and I don't like minimums and maximums and you can't do these things. But as a general guide, if you wanted to keep discus, I would say start with a group of at least 6. The more you keep, the better luck you'll have, I think. And to keep that smallest group of 6, I would suggest 180 litres. But that's with having nothing else in the tank. So if you wanted to keep discus and a big school of, I don't know, lemon tetras or Congo tetras or something like that, you're going to need to go up a bit. So that's where I'd start at. 6, 180 as the kind of really low end of what you're going to go for. But there's so many variables. How much are you going to filter? Are you going to have a big massive sump? Are you going to have a tiny internal filter? Are you going to? It depends what you do. So there's lots of options, but that's where to start, I would say. You can go off some people, you know. Isn't there meant to be a license coming out to keep goldfish? Oh, I did not know that. I had seen some chat, I've not looked into it though, I had seen some chat of people kicking off about just how fancy goldfish are getting. Mountain goldfish, you're in here, you might know about this. That could be part of that, maybe. I'll look into that for next week. Matt says, I don't want to upset anyone, but Biohome is really no better than any form of sintered glass media. Yeah, people have these. You're not unique in your opinion, Matt. I do think it's a little bit better than some of the other sintered glass media because I've done the tests, I've done the soak tests, I've done the break test and looking at it with the microscope. I've seen it perform better at wicking than some of the other sintered glass medias, and I've seen it have a better inner structure than some of the other sintered glass media, but at its core, yeah, they all kind of do the same sort of thing. It's just about levels of efficiency. Why are we talking about Christopher Walken? What have I missed? Noodle Sandwich has Christopher Walken parked on his mother-in-law's drive in a massive motorhome, is trying to get a signal. Oh! Well, there you go. Right, that makes sense. What you need to do is get a signature and get a video of him saying, everyone go and subscribe to Aquarium Adventures, and then send me that video. That's your challenge for the night. And then tell him I'm a huge fan. Biohome is no better than an old sock for growing bacteria. Well, I'd say it's a little bit better than that. Mopple Street Aquatics is in. Good evening, sir, or good afternoon, where you are, I guess. Usually we kick things off here about 11 o'clock, and that's roughly when Maple Street Aquatics is streaming. So if you fancy continuing your fishy evening, your choices are you can join us in Discord, or you can join Maple Street Aquatics live stream. You can go and say hello and say you're here from an Aquarium Adventures channel. It's amazing. He apparently did all that himself. All what himself? One of these days I'm going to let somebody else host this stream and I can just sit and join in the chat because I can't keep up as well as talking. Don't you keep discus in a micro aquarium? Yes, we know that. I may have inadvertently said a few things in today's video that may upset discus keepers. But it's not like we're a argumentative bunch, us discus keepers. I'm sure it'll be fine. 180 litre tank might be way too small. It would definitely make some people say it's way too small, but no, I don't think it is. My 700 litre tank, however, yeah, way too small. We've got a button that I can't press. Betta fish care. Any tips for keeping bettas? Going to pick up my first tomorrow. Not really. They are quite an easy fish to look after. I would, until you get used to them and understand their personalities, because I've kept many bettas over the years and they've all been completely different, all over the spectrum of really placid, easy fish will live with other fish to complete nutters that won't tolerate anything else in the tank at all, never decorations, never mind other fish. So I would have a decent sized tank. Again, I don't like to give minimum and maximum size tanks, but a decent sized tank. So this tank here, that's a good size betta fish, I think. Decent size, some decoration, some places to hide. They like it reasonably warm. Just observe for a while, see what kind of fish you've got, whether or not it's a complete nutter. Don't try and introduce them into a tank with lots of other fish at the same time, and you should get on fine. What's Mark saying? So I have 2 Beast canister filters on a 550 litre Malawi tank full of 8 kilos of biohome, but it's not reducing nitrates. I'm thinking of adding another canister full of matrix and denitrate on a restricted flow. I mean, the restricted flow is probably the thing that will do it. If I got results when I tried biohome, so I quite like it. It's a very controversial subject. Lots of people don't like it and think it's hogwash. It's, as a filter media, I like it because it's a very efficient filter media. It's not the cheapest though, and it's not the most expensive either. But if the real key for me was reducing nitrates, I wouldn't be going out and buying more and more Biohome or Dechem, Denitrate or Matrix. Take the Biohome that you've got, build some kind of deep bed filter or some kind of not reactor, but if you can make a little section of a sump or a canister filter, restrict the flow right down so it is passing through it slowly, use the stuff you've got and that will start to colonize that, then you'll get the aerobic and the anaerobic. If it's not working for you in your current setup, it might work eventually, it might not. I've no reason to think the people who it isn't working for are wrong or lying or anything like that. I think there must be something that I'm just not clever enough to figure out why it is working in some cases. I think it works in my case because I've got nice big deep beds, so there are areas of those beds within my sump where the water is slow and where it's not hugely oxygenated, and I'm getting the benefit that way. I know my discus breeder importer friend as well has a kind of sideways sump where he has a good 1.5 foot of Biohome in his sump. And our theory is that it's the bottom section that's actually doing all the denitrification elements, and the top section is just doing normal biological filtration. I think Mark's Aquatics has done some stuff on it as well, where he built a thing where he built a big cylinder, stuffed it full of Biohome, and then ran water through it like over a sump, like as an additional filter, and got good results that way. So you pay your money, you take your chances. Oh, Wendy's here. Sorry I'm late. Been for a curry and a glass of wine or 3. What have I missed? Absolutely nothing. We haven't had a rant or anything. It's all fine. Yeah, I had a wee rant about PETA earlier, but on to happier things now. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to turn this into a Biohome advert, but they do say you need to have a lot of it to get the results. I do have a lot of it, and I did get results. I mean, I do sell, well, I don't at the moment because I haven't got any. But yeah, I like Biohome. That's why I sold it. If anyone's interested in buying some, I will hopefully be stocking some again soon. Right, where do we get to? Yeah, let's have a wee advert of my own. aquariumaventures.co.uk to buy the excellent merch embroidered by the wonderful Phil at Elite Logos. And you too could have something like this. T-shirts, polos, hoodies, jumpers, all available. The brand new cock merch is available too. I should really have a picture of this, shouldn't I, to bring up. Pardon me. Where do we get to? Right, we were going to talk about another thing as well, weren't we? Pond Guru also crams too much in a filter that doesn't need it. The FX6 will form micro bubbles if overfilled. I think he's had pretty good success with his Pimp My Filter range. I mean, they are obviously just adverts for Biohome and how you can fit more stuff in, and he always uses Biohome because he makes it. But yeah, it will. I only have a FX5, so I can't comment whether the FX6 will do it, but I have crammed my FX5 full of it and didn't form micro bubbles because it was overfilled. But yeah, results may vary. And as Silver Surfer says, it will work better with lower flow rates. It will, yes. Rob's currently got a FX6 with Biohome Ultimate, pimped how Pond Guru said, and had no issues, maybe being lucky. Well, yeah, he shouldn't do anything like that. Yeah, as Scott says, Elite Logos for you if you want any nice embroidery type stuff. Yeah, so Matt's saying I've used his method for sponges and went back to fluval sponges. There was no difference, just more sponges to rinse. I had that discussion, not that particular discussion, but I do my sponges in the opposite direction. So I always like to do filter floss to take out the majority of the crap before it then goes into my layers of sponges and into the biological media, chemical media, all that kind of stuff. On the point of view of I can just take out that filter floss, chuck it, replace it with new filter floss, and then I don't have to change the sponges underneath as much. And I would order my sponges fine, medium, coarse that way. And he always says, no, you should do it the other way around, so as you don't do it as often. And I found I was cleaning it more his way than my way. But in the end, I think the actual best way to do it is, rather than filter floss and chucking it away, because that's not great for the environment and all those kind of things, is just get some jet matting or something like that you can take out and you just pressure wash it, clean it away, because you're not using it for any biological filtration. It's just the crap catch. So you can take it out, put it back in again, then you've got the same bit you can use again and again and again. Yeah, so if you've got a system with very fast and highly oxygenated water, that's probably why you're not getting good results. Mark was an avid discus fan until I tried Malawi. They're a fantastically funny fish. Well, I'll need to try that, because that's on my list for new things when I get the new place. Right, the other thing I was going to talk about tonight, before we do another giveaway, God, time has flown tonight. Maybe I should do rants every week. It makes the night fly by. Was I had another email this week from another controversial company. From these guys. Don't know if you'd recognise this at all, but you may remember me from days gone past. The Felix Smart Aquarium Controller. I was one of the early adopters. I was the Kickstarter or whatever it was. Can't remember what the... So I was one of the backers on the early adopters, where the Felix Smart Aquarium Controller, which is basically this box here that you can see, that on the back of it has a bunch of plug sockets, a bunch of USB sockets, and the idea is you plug in your filter, you plug in your lights, you plug in your heater, your skimmers, your auto feeder, whatever it might be, your Senai, everything's controlled from this one box. But you might be thinking to yourself, that's not a new idea. There's the Apex, or the Neptune Apex, is it? Or the Apex Neptune, whatever way around it is. That does exactly the same thing. It does do a similar thing, and I think they're now similar prices as well. But I was one of the early adopters, and I got mine sent to me, it's a while ago now. And I've been using it ever since, but the UK version of the Felix, the thing with this is, the only reason I wanted it is that light goes back and forth like the Knight Rider, and just looks awesome. My webcam hadn't died on this, I could have shown you it. It's great. It comes with this camera that's disappointing. I can't think of any other way to describe it than disappointing. Not very high resolution. It's intrusive. It's a big camera in the middle of your tank. You can also get it with these, which is essentially a Felix branded Senai. So it'll take some of the measurements for you. You can set, when I first got it, all you could do was set timers basically. That was it. And it would tell you, you could see the camera barely worked. There was lots of problems with the camera leaking. Lots of people had leaks on their cameras. The camera was basically a potato. It's got better over time. So the good thing about this is they haven't just released it and dumped it. They've released it and continued to develop it. So I think it's now at the stage where I would think of starting to recommend it to people, saying, well, this is actually pretty clever and it does some good things. But they've done a complete overhaul and there's a new version coming out. So I got an email from them earlier saying the new version is arriving next week. Do you want one? So they're going to send me one of the new ones, so I'll get to see that firsthand. And hopefully it'll have none of the problems of the old one, which were it's enormous, the camera was crap, functionality was meh, but the most idiotic thing was the UK plugs. So it comes with these 8 plug sockets. The way they had oriented them, you could only use 4 of them at once because the plugs, they fouled on the other plug. So that rather than putting them at opposite ends so you could plug them in, they had them the same way around. So it was just the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. But anyway, all these design things should have been fixed. All the new functionality should be fixed. One of the disappointing things was this was meant to be a battery backup. It was meant to have a UPS. It was meant to do... it was meant to automatically track your fish and let you know if the behaviour changed and send you messages say, oh, your betta fish doesn't look very well. You should probably do something about that. So those features are starting to come in now. So all the AI and all the smart features are starting to come in. So it'll monitor everything. The monitoring, spot on. Quite like that. It's as good as the Senai is, and the Senai in and of itself has a few problems about setup and getting their readings right. But once you get them right, perfect. And those readings then going into the rest of the Felix functionality, quite impressive. So it will do things like it'll send you text messages and say, hey, your aquarium's a bit warm. Do you want to check out, make sure your heater's okay? And you can go in and do that. Or, oh, I think your light's failing because it's not as much as it, not, the lux level's gone down as compared to the last few weeks and all that kind of thing. So you get your, as it says here, real-time analysis of your aquarium conditions. It will automatically adjust things so you can set your levels, and it will turn things on based or off. I mean, all it's doing is turning things on and off. But it will, now that the AI and the automation is starting to come into it, there's a little bit more coming. So this was the original one where what you're getting from this is it's making you think that it's following your fish around. It doesn't actually do that anymore. But this is the newer stuff that's starting to come in and is meant to get better in the new version of this. So alerts and reminders, that's some of the ways it says the AI is good. Send you alerts and reminders. That is useful if you set it up properly. If this then that, that is a service that's nothing to do with Felix or anything like that. It's if this then that. It's a kind of easy coding, an easy introduction into coding. For instance, if the temperature drops, then turn on the heater. That would be a really simple version of that, but you can get really complex things. But these are some screenshots of the things at the moment. So turn off CO2 when pH is less than 7.4, or turn on CO2, so that you can get more and more complex rules. But then you combine the rules with the notifications to say, I've turned on your heater, or I've turned on the CO2. And it'll send you things like, oh, I would normally have turned off CO2 by now, but it's still running. So you can go and have a check of it. The AI advice so far, mine has been, oh, your Wi-Fi stopped working for 3 minutes. But it will say, oh, based on the livestock you're keeping, we recommend you feed it every 2 days, or the growth rate is this. I've never seen that bit work properly. So maybe that's one of the things that work in the new one. The camera needs to get better, so hopefully it'll get better. But yeah, so I think it's just a little bit interesting that they've got a new model that's been redesigned. There's the Felix Pro and the Felix Lite. There's some more probes and things that are going to get released. So for instance, this is the Felix Pro, which is the one I have that comes with the camera and with the Senai. There weren't any probes available when I first got it, but now they're starting to release more and more monitors. So you get smart monitors that you can read more than what a Senai will do. Look at that, $1,300. It wasn't that much when I bought it. It was meant to be about 600 quid. How do I go onto the UK site? Let's see how much it is. Really? USD GBP. Still getting up there. I thought it was about 600 quid. So it's saying £900. Hopefully there's some new pricing as well and different options with the models. But thought it was a wee bit of news. That might be something that comes around. If you were following this channel when I first got my Felix, you'll know that they dicked around for a long time before they actually got their act together and got it to me. And then screwed me over with the taxes and import fees and all that kind of thing. So we should be past all that point now. Hoping it's going to be something I can recommend, at least for the functionality, because there's some cool things coming. Whether that price point stays the same or you think it's worth it, that's a completely different question. But, you know, it's a cool new toy to try and mess around with. That's why I'm here, just to mess around with cool things. You don't have to. Pardon me. Right, where do we get to? Right, let me see if I can scroll back and see any more questions that we had. I need to get better at this, following the comments. So Brian's got a question. Let's see if I can find that on here. No, I can't find it, sorry. How many cuss would a discuss if a discuss could discuss? Oh, there's a new thing we have to do as well at some point tonight where I speak Scottish and everyone laughs at me. That sounds like fun. That was one of the live stream recommendations. The Knight Rider light, that's worth £300 or £400 all just on its own. Can you say purple curly whirly? Yes, I can. Purple curly whirly. I could murder a purple curly whirly. I could indeed. The plugs, that's still the old model. I've not seen the images of the new model yet, and they haven't put them on the website, so we'll see. I was very underwhelmed by the Felix, says Mountain Goldfish. I was a little bit as well. It is quite overcomplicated. That's it. The idea is it's meant to make life simpler and meant to help, but I completely get where you're coming from. I spent so much time footering around with it, trying to get it to work, that it was infuriating, and it was like, why won't you do what you promised you said you would do? I mean, one of the main reasons I wanted it was the whole, there's loads of features that were promised when it was initially put up for like a Kickstarter type thing. Hardly any of them made it through to the final version, which was really disappointing. So yeah, that's definitely the low-tech way, is just use your eyes, have a look at your aquarium every now and again. But then again, you don't get the green Knight Rider effect, that's half of what you're paying for. Apex been running it for 6 years and never failed me. To be fair, it hasn't failed. It's all day in, day out. It starts my lights, it keeps the temperature going, it monitors the water. Some of the more gimmicky features are more gimmicky. Yeah, it's just a bit like, I work in IT. I like tech and gadgets, so from that point, it gets me there. But yeah, if it's going to be £900, whew. Luckily, they're sending me one for free, so maybe I'll make it a prize, or I'll give you the old one as a prize. Any recommendations for a simple camera in aquarium? Not finding too much on Google. I would go for like an older model GoPro. You can't go wrong with them. And the older ones, even used, should be fine. But the older ones, you can get them reasonably cheap on eBay or some other site like that. They'll do the job well. Or what I used to do for a long time was just get one of those water sealed bags for your mobile phone, you know, for when you take it to the beach or whatever. Or a waterproof case for your particular mobile phone, or some phones are now waterproof. That might be the way to go. I'm sure I saw someone ask me a question about something. Brian Watt. I can't find the comment on the thing that I can show you the comments. What's your thoughts on long fin varieties of fish? Cool, unnecessarily, or do we have to call PETA? I think they're generally cool. I think long fin varieties will naturally occur. I mean, I don't want to go all PETA on us, but I don't like balloon varieties of fish. Don't like stupid genetically changed coloured fish, neon fish, things like that. I mean, some are better than others. I definitely don't like the ones where they're injected, but I don't like parrotfish. I think they look. I don't like parrotfish for some reason. I know I've got a flower horn and I absolutely love my flower horn, and I know parrotfishes are used in creating flower horns quite widely, but they just look like they're not right. Like they don't fit their bodies, and just I don't like them. Longfin, like bristlenose, something like that. Love the longfin varieties of them. When it comes to, I think I saw a longfin arowana recently. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it, but it just didn't look right. And so I guess it depends on the fish, would be my answer. Right, should we do one more giveaway? We've only got 15 minutes left. We need a suggestion. Go on, Courtney, you still here? What should we make the word? Has anyone kept spotted limia? I've never heard of spotted limia. I'm going to have to Google that. Give me a second. Like a liveberry type thing. This is a blue-bellied limia. That's as close as I could find. Don't know what that is. I must. Like a. It's a bit like a molly-ish, not molly, maybe flatty-ish. Very scientific, me, this channel. You can tell. Very nice. I like the rarer things. There you go, curly whirly. Right, let's go back to here. Cancel that. Everyone's in. The word of the day is curly. C-U-R-L-Y. Whirly. W-U-R-L-Y. We'll do this giveaway and then we'll go on to Discord and see what nonsense you wanted me to say. And there was something about the way Scottish people speak as if it's some kind of joke to you all. I don't know. Curly whirly. Get that in the chat. I'm mollying up. They look like I can do that. They look like mollies, but with a more pointed mouth. Pretty cool looking. I think you should try them sharply. Yeah, go for it. Parrots have changed so much since they first came on the market. Yeah, I mean, if even 5 years ago, which isn't really much time, they did look completely different. That's not true. They didn't look completely different. They looked a little bit different, but significantly different, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Right, we're going to race through this, so if you're still awake, you're still listening, get Curly Wurly typed into the chat. Not until I fill my glass for the third time. And then we'll do some racially insensitive Scottish speaking. I had a quick look at it. It was like a TikTok or a Facebook post of someone saying, these are words Scottish people can't say. And I immediately took offence to that because we can say them. We say all those things. And more often than not, we say them correctly by pronouncing and enunciating all the letters in the word properly. Not like you English manglers. Can you say murder a burger? Can you say murder a burger burglar, please? I could murder a burger. What about a purple burglar? That's really hard to say. There we go. That's what we like to see. Scottish accent's great. It's one of the reasons we kept watching your Fishy videos. I mean, I'll take anything I can get. I'll do anything for viewers. I'm about to disgrace myself by basically being a nodding dog, making you all laugh at me. There's been a murder, Lily Loft wants me to say. Good old Taggart reference. There's been a murder. Right, we've got 0 eligible users for some reason. Why have we got 0 eligible users? There we go. 37 eligible users. That's much better. Purple baby buggy bumpers. That's not even a thing. Right, are we ready? We're going to pick a winner. Drum roll, please. The winner is Rob Barry. Congratulations, Rob. You won something last time, didn't you? Right, let's head over to the big thing and see what you win. Or I should say, congratulations, Rob. Oh, big face. Now, what are you going to win, Rob? Nothing. My spin button's not working. Let's try again. No! Why is that not working? Right, I'm going to have to log in. What's it called again? Streamlabs, that's the one. Of course, because I reset my computer, all my passwords will have been wiped out. Log in. Log in with YouTube. Me. Them. There we go. The wheel is spinning. Suspense is killing us. You have won a polo / t-shirt. So what that means, Rob, is if you email me, remember you have to email me. In fact, let's go here. And email. You have to email me on that address, graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk. I know you've already either bought something or won something, but if you don't email me, I'll forget. T-shirt, polo shirt, which design? So you get to choose. Go on the website, aquariumadventures.co.uk. Choose your colour, your size, your logo, and we'll send you it. Congratulations. Oops. So congratulations once more. Right. So, one big face. I am. The Kaylee wheel's not working kindly for Kaylee anymore, is it? But congratulations, Rob. You have to be in it to win it, people. So we're going to go on Discord. That's what we're going to do. Let me find it. I've just seen a horrific picture. Why won't you? Let's go on small face. Look at this. Rubbing my face in it that they've got some Hop House 13. That's not fair. It's my favourite and they don't have any in the shops around here anymore. So, this is Discord for those of you who haven't joined the Discord server. Up there. This is there, Discord. There'll be links in the chat, no doubt, as my fantastic moderators put that in. You can join here, ask your Fishy questions, share some pictures of your aquariums. You can have some chats about fish and things that you're doing in here. No judgy people, no nasty people, or if there are, tell one of the admins or the mods and we'll sort them out. Buy, sell, swap some stuff. We've got all kinds of channels so you can check out things, but one of the channels is the live stream topic ideas. So if you have a particular subject you want me to talk about, stick it in here. So we've had from circulation pumps and air stones, we've had how to cool your aquarium, we've got me dad dancing for some reason. So all kinds of things. So one of the suggestions after last week's was, please do this on the next live stream. So if we click on here, got sound.
Curly Whirly. Number 2. World.
World.
What world? World.
World.
Number
World.
3. Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Squirrel. Number 4.
Squirrel, he was saying. I would say squirrel. So let me start that from the beginning.
5 things Scottish people struggle to say.
You don't struggle.
Number 1.
You're letting us down, man.
Curly Whirly.
Curly Whirly. That's how it's meant to sound.
Curly Whirly. And Carol. Squirrel.
Squirrel. Squirrel. Squirrel.
Number 4. Carol and Carol.
Yeah, I get this one a lot. So I think my English friends would say Carl and Carol. Whereas it's Carol and Carol. The same word. Enunciate, people.
Carol. Carol. Number 5. There is zero chance of me saying this, but I'll give it a go. The burdened purple murderer. Start again. The burdened purple murderer refers to preferal. Nope. The burdened purple murderer.
The burdened purple murderer infers the preferred referral. Easy.
The burdened. Stop it. The burdened purple murderer. The burdened purple murderer infers the preferral referral. The burdened purple murderer infers the preferred referral.
Oh, advert. How do we stop? Stop. Okay, we have to watch the advert. There's no way around it.
About the silent plane, please hang up.
There you go. This is honestly harder than it looks. Ready? I've got this.
A roll of linoleum.
A roll of linoleum. A roll of linoleum. It's no.
A roll of linoleum. 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 I said it right the first time.
No, that. It's no linoleum. A roll of linoleum. A roll of linoleum.
A roll of linoleum.
A roll of linoleum. A roll of linoleum. A roll of linoleum. Okay. I've actually been practicing this one. I've got it.
Unique New York. Say it 5 times. Unique New York. 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 Easy.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Easy. Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Is that right?
I've
Unique
just said it wrong, so.
Unique.
Unique.
Unique smaller.
Unique New York.
Stop. Composure. Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York.
Unique New York.
That'll do.
It's a bit easy.
Is this even a tongue twister? The anemone from definitely.
Right, what's this one? The anemone from Jerusalem and a specific. Pardon me. The anemone from Jerusalem and a specific ethnicity. The anemone from Jerusalem and a specific ethnicity. Yeah, easy.
I know anemone. The anemone from the anemone.
The anemone.
The anemone from Jerusalem is a specific ethnicity.
I guess I got a bit
The
of a head
anemone
start
from
on that one.
Jerusalem is an bread and fed. Right, lad.
Bread fed Ted bread and Ted fed bread. No. Bread fed Ted bread and Ted fed bread. Yeah, that was it. Bread fed Ted bread and Ted fed bread. Easy.
Bread fed Ted bread and bread fed Ted. The bread fed Ted? Bread fed Ted bread and bread fed. Why is the bread feeding Ted? Bread fed bread. Bread fed. No! No! Like another shitty sleep at our shitty. No.
I slit a sheet, a sleet I shit. Oh, I need the beep. I slit a sheet I slit upon a slitty sheet I sit. I slit a sheet I slit upon a slitty sheet I sit. Easy. Right. 3 grey geese in the green field grazing. Grey was the geese, green was the grazing. Ah, easy. Spanish. Tre triste tigres contigo en un trigal. En un trigal, probably. Tres tigres contigo en un trigal. Maybe. Let's see how he does it.
Tres days. Nope.
Tres tristes.
Tres days. Nah. Tres days. Tres days.
Come on, take I don't know. I probably insulted all of Spain there.
Tres tristes.
There you go. Easy. Told you that wouldn't be. There's nothing Scottish people can't say. We just say it properly. Right. Any more? Last couple of minutes before we go. Sharpie thinks I've been living in England too long. That might be it. Whenever I go home to Scotland, all my Scottish friends say, "What are you speaking all English for?" Then when I come down to England, everyone's like, "Oh, you've gone all Scottish again." Can't win. I did not say bread. No, I'm not having it. I didn't say geese. I did Greece. No, I did say geese. I didn't say Greece. Alright, here we go. We've got a challenge. Now try my old address. Perfect. My favourite Welsh is microwave is pop deeping. Try saying my full name. Gervais Ian Burt Humphreys. Or Ion. Emily, get to bed. Go on. It's 11 o'clock. My goodness. Is that the same Emily that told me to get in a bin? Right, I think we've reached that time, everyone. I'm starting to ramble and talk absolute nonsense. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. If you fancy it, someone is no doubt about to stick a link in the chat to both the Discord server if you want to continue the conversation. I'm going to go and have a pee, but you know, do as you will. Or you can go and have a look at Mipple Street Aquatics and say hello. Say that you were sent from Aquarium Adventures. One last challenge from Courtney. Try this name. Mabalasa Richie. Mabalasa Richie. Mabalasa Ernie Itchy. That's another Discord joke. So there's another chat that you can try and get me to say some names and make a fool of myself. Microwave. So get to bed, Emily. My balls are itchy. Microwave. Maple Street Aquatics next. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, everyone else. Thank you all. And we'll see you, same time, next week. Bye.